Hello! What's good, engineering fam? I really need to get like an intro for my little show. But yeah, so hey, welcome to another episode of Elevated. I'm your host, the Elevated Engineer. So we got a bunch of different things I'm gonna go over tonight. Sorry it took me so long, engineering fam, but sometimes YouTube be tripping. Man, they be tripping. Let me switch my words a little bit. With YouTube, sometimes they like they want to control a lot of stuff, man. Pretty much everything. And one of those things that they like to control are the titles, which is ridiculous. So, anyways, we got it working. So today is a good day because I came from work a few hours ago, so I've been up all day, doing my thing. But I want to go ahead and get right into it. As well, most of you all know, we are at the point now in these wars where they're starting to wind down, and the truth is, we lost. We lost. So, I want to cut to this video really quick because it details the U.S.'s situation in Kabul in Afghanistan. So let's go ahead and cut to that video really quick. All right. So this is from ABC News. They'll hit me with the copyright because it's completely not for profit, but whatever. So let's go ahead and play this really quick, and I'll give some commentary. We'll come right back. So,
U.S. troops heading to Kabul to help get American personnel safely out of the embassy are now arriving there. The Taliban, meanwhile, gaining more ground. The Biden administration deploying thousands of troops to help with evacuations of many personnel at the embassy. Video tonight released by the Taliban claiming to show them entering Kandahar, the second largest city, now seizing at least 17 provincial capitals in just the last week. We have also learned tonight that Americans at the U.S. Embassy have been told to destroy sensitive materials on site. And the Pentagon was pressed today on why they're not calling this a combat mission. You'll hear how they answered. Here's our senior foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, tonight.
Tonight, with the Taliban swiftly closing in on Kabul, the first of 3,000 American troops are now there.
Troop movements that we mentioned yesterday are happening as we speak. By the end of the weekend, the bulk of the 3,000 that we talked about yesterday will be in place.
The Taliban taking 4 more provincial capitals now just 50 miles from Kabul. Explosions overnight in Kandahar as the militants gain ground in the second largest city. This video released by the...
For those that don't know, Kandahar was like the major base for U.S. and coalition troops. So yeah, to have the Taliban pretty much going in like they are going in right now, but it never happened. Shit, 5 years ago, hell, 2 years ago, it wouldn't happen. So yeah, that's pretty major. Man, it sounds just like Vietnam. Honestly, when I talk to the Vietnam vets, tell me the same thing. Like, man, you hear them, you hear almost the exact same language for Vietnam. Like when you see those old pictures of them trying to get all those last bit of evacuees out of like one helicopter and the embassy being abandoned and them having to burn all the documents. That's just like Vietnam.
The Taliban purporting to show their triumphant entry. The Taliban now controlling more than 2/3 of the country. The Pentagon today asked about the militants' rapid takeover as US troops arrive to evacuate most embassy staff and visa applicants.
We are certainly concerned by the speed with which the Taliban has been moving. clearly, from their actions, it appears as if they are trying to get Kabul isolated.
But the Pentagon was pressed on why they're not calling this a combat mission.
These soldiers and Marines that are fully kitted out, putting on night vision goggles, landing in Kabul, taking positions at the airport, they're going to a combat zone, are they not?
They're certainly going into harm's way, Lucas, and they will have
zone.
Lucas, they will have the right of self-defense. They will be armed, and as I said yesterday, I don't think I could have made it any more clear that if
Well, it's not for me to determine public policy or semantics, but I mean, truth be told, they're gonna be there is a high possibility that they will be in combat. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, but I think he's trying to, in the U.S., of course, is trying to save face because they're trying to make it seem as if we're just kind of there to exit out and keep it moving. But I mean, rest assured, like, you know, there's a chance that they gonna get it in. But honestly, I don't even think the Taliban wants to get it in. They just probably just want to, you know, show their power, show that, yeah, we beat the Americans. Which, I mean, all they really did was just wait us out. That's all they have to do. Why would you go ahead and, not saying that they wouldn't, but why would you go ahead and re-engage, lose resources and men for an enemy that's leaving? I don't know.
there is an attack upon our forces, our commanders have now and always have had the right and responsibility to defend themselves.
And tonight, officials still insisting Afghan forces can fight back.
You've said the Afghan forces have the advantage. What proof can you offer as the Taliban have taken over now vast majorities of the country and they've now surrounded Kabul?
That the Taliban have moved with the speed with which they have, and that the resistance that they have faced has been insufficient to stop those, to check those advances, does not mean, Lucas, that the advantages aren't still there. You have to use it. You have to be willing to apply it.
Afghans from provinces taken over by the Taliban now fleeing to neighbouring Pakistan. Others fleeing north, setting up encampments in Kabul, speaking of the terrors they've already witnessed. This woman saying the Taliban forced her out of her home in Zabagum. They killed her sons and married off her daughters-in-law.
God damn, that's how it's done, man. You know, that's how it's done. It's just like some lying. You know what I'm saying? The invaders, they kill the men and take the girl. That's some straight up like 8th century type shit. But you know, hey, it is what it is, man.
Just horrific stories now emerging. So let's get back to Ian Panel with us again tonight. Ian, all this fast moving. We have 2 questions for you here. What do you know tonight about U.S. personnel at the embassy being told to destroy sensitive items? And I know that you also sent in word that you're hearing tonight that the Taliban is actually sending a peace envoy now to Kabul. What does this mean?
Yeah, that's right, David. An internal notice obtained by ABC News showing the embassies instructed all US personnel to destroy items like documents and electronic devices to, quote, reduce the amount of sensitive material on the property. That includes any items with US logos or American flags. But separately, perhaps a glimmer of hope, we're hearing that Ismail Khan, notorious warlord from Herat, he was captured by the Taliban, now being dispatched as their envoy to Kabul tonight to try and broker a deal. As I say, perhaps, just perhaps, a glimmer of hope. David?
Yeah, perhaps that could be a key development, and you'll follow it for us, Ian. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
Okay, all right. Well, so let's go ahead and discuss it. So, what does this mean to the U.S.? And what can we learn from it? Well, as a as a OIF, Iraq War veteran, which I am, I don't know, man. I mean, truth be told, we can say what we want about the way we pull out. We can say what we want, but isn't this kind of what we've been asking for? We've more or less been asking for, hey, let's pull the troops out because we have no reason to be there. Like let's go ahead and let's pull the troops out of Iraq because we have no reason to be there. And the truth be told is we really don't. Even though it's tough because so many things were lost there. So many lives were lost. Resources, money was lost. We didn't really gain that much, but I did. Like I got my school paid for, but I got a career path that that I'm on. I'm able to do stuff that a lot of people who didn't. But truth be told, I could have joined the Coast Guard or the Air Force and got the same exact benefits that I got now without going to war. So that's what I gained, but I know a lot of people lost. But what does this really mean for the U.S.? I mean, this is essentially a 20-year disaster. They lied to get us into war on multiple fronts. Some people watching this who are probably young won't remember. It seems like it was yesterday to me when 9/11 happened. When 9/11 happened, they said, okay, Iraq attacked us. The people of Iraq attacked us. Iraq attacked us. So we're going to have to go to war with them. Okay. And it came out that it was Osama bin Laden, and it was actually the 9/11 hijackers were, for the most part, all from Saudi Arabia, who is our friends. So that was the lies. And they said, okay. Well, we got to go to Iraq because Saddam Hussein is a menace to his people, and he has weapons of mass destruction that he has pointed at the U.S. right now. Well, that turned out to not be true as well. And not only was Saddam Hussein a dictator, he also kind of controlled things in Iraq. So we went to Iraq. We kind of disbanded the military. They kind of just faded off, until took off their uniforms and went straight into, hiding mode. And thus, the insurgency came. So the insurgency were people who came from outside of Iraq, who came into the U.S., not the U.S., who came into Iraq to fight against coalition forces. And then they said we had to deny terrorists a safe haven. So that's why we were in not only Iraq, but in Afghanistan. Now, Afghanistan, for almost a decade, they were telling us that bin Laden was hiding out in caves inside of Afghanistan, inside the mountains of Afghanistan. And that's why we had to be there in order to find bin Laden, because we all wanted bin Laden. Well, turns out bin Laden was hiding out right outside the Pakistani version of West Point, their military academy. Kind of there, just chilling. So after we, and by we I mean, the operators that finally found bin Laden after a decade in 2011, found Bin Laden, killed him. So then we were just like, okay, well, we got Bin Laden. So now we're good. Now we're done with this. We got everything we needed. But we still stayed there for another 10 years. Well, and Bin Laden was in Pakistan, right? So we were all asking, like, well, why are we still in Iraq and Afghanistan? And nobody could ever really give us a straight answer. Truth is, they then told us, okay, I'm not even at the truth yet. I'm sorry. Okay, before I gotta get there, I gotta say, okay, they say, okay, well, we gotta be there because we need the oil. And we need to be in Iraq because they have Al Qaeda in Iraq and all these other groups. They have control over the oil. So we gotta be there. But then we didn't even get the oil. You know who got the oil? China got the oil. You know how they got the oil? They came in and they offered the people contracts, money. They didn't, put guns in the, give us freedom, freedom. So we didn't get the oil. And I don't know if y'all could tell, as of August 2021, I live in Miami and gas is almost $4. So, yeah. Gas is not any cheaper, so yeah, so then we get to the truth, and at the end of the day, it was just about feeding the beast, feeding the military industrial complex, just a few companies get their stock prices to go up maybe a couple of points, that's what it's about. Like, so as painful as this, this wound is, this is what happens when we have old men making decisions. You can't trust old men because they're gonna lie to you. You can't trust these old men, these old generals, these old politicians, these. They're gonna lie to you, and they're gonna do it again. They're going to do it again. Give us some time. Give us a little bit of time to calm down and do all this good stuff. But they're going to do it again. Like they will find another bullshit lie for us to get into another war we don't need and can't afford. So. But I will say, thanks to all my friends and all the people, all the guys and girls who served. You did your best, but you working against the machine. I know a lot of you gotta be disappointed. You gotta be depressed because you're like, oh, why did this happen? Well, it is what it is. You got to make the best out of the situation. I will say this: if you are feeling down, if you are feeling, any kind of way, they have a suicide line. They have. Hold on, let me pull this up really quick. Suicide hotline. Because I already know people are going to be like ultra depressed. But there's a national suicide prevention hotline. I know this isn't going to mean much, but it's, 1-800-273-8255. That's the national one. Yeah, man, check it out. Because a lot of veterans commit suicide every day. And we want to avoid that because we know that it's going to be tough for a lot of you to get over this. But for those of us who've been out long enough, we kind of, we figured it out. You'll figure it out. It'll be okay. You'll figure it out. There is life after the military. Trust me. There is life after the military. There is life after war. Trust me, you'll be fine. So, with that being said, next topic. So, I don't know if you all know who this guy Tom MacDonald is, but he came with some bars, man. He came with some bars. Okay, so check it out. This guy just dropped this track called Brainwashed. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I want to play the last little verse because the shit a little hot. It's a little hot. He talking about some real shit. He dropping some bars. He dropping some bars. He's a white boy. I know he's a white boy, but you know he a white boy that got some bars. He a white boy that got some bars. I'm sensing John Brown energy. I'm sensing. That's my thing. That's my new thing. Well, I've been saying it for a while, but when it comes to like white people, like if you don't have John Brown energy, then miss me with the we all in this together bullshit, because we not. You know what I mean? But if you do got that John Brown energy, I'm gonna fuck with you. Now, if some shit come out later down the line, you nigger, you nigger. Some shit come down the line, your pass will be rescinded. But at the moment, he has a John Brown energy. If you don't know who John Brown is, Google him. So I just got to pull up this last little verse because he was kind of spitting some bars. He was kind of spitting some bars a little bit. So let me go ahead and play this real quick. It's called Brainwash, yo. This kid, I think he's a grown-ass man, but this guy dropped the freaking, he dropped the track on the 13th. It's always got like 1.7 million views, bro. And I ain't never even heard of this guy. Some of his videos got like 10, 15 million views. Never even heard of him until like yesterday. Shout out to Kwame Brown. Because Kwame Brown's the one who kind of put me on. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? So, but I'm gonna let him spit some barrage.
Freedom night, the whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. Us against them, it ain't you against me. Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step 5, separate the white from the black. Step 6, separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them more. Step 7, fabricate a problem, made a lie. Step 8, put it on the news every night. Step 9, when people start to fight and divide, take control. This is called situational design. They can't stop us, cause we're ready to fight. Trying to brainwash us, but we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. Us against them, it ain't you against me.
Let's hear it again. Let's hear it again.
People only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with ready to fight, trying to brainwash us, but we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. Us against them, it ain't you against me. Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step 5, separate the white from the black. Step 6, separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them more. Step 7, fabricate a problem, made a lie. Step 8, put it on the news every night. Step 9, when people start to fight and divide, take control. This is called situational design. They can't stop us, cause we're ready to fight. Trying to brainwash us, but we won't let freedom die. The whole world's brainwashed. Everybody pick a team, start a riot in the streets. The whole world's brainwashed. Us against them, it ain't you against me.
bars. Nah, man, dude has some bars, man. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Fuck is you talking about? Yo, I love when dudes speak truth to power, man. Like I honestly, like with hip hop nowadays, like nobody's doing that. I ain't gonna say nobody, but most people aren't. Nigga, fuck is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? We gotta have a white boy come up and say this shit because you niggas care more about your album sales than anything else. You got too many niggas selling their souls, man. We got Lil Nas fucking X. Fuck out of here, bro. And then you got this white boy, and I wouldn't watch a bunch of his videos, man. He got one that was like, I wish I was black or something like that, man. He was saying some real shit. He advocated for reparations, nigga. What the fuck? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he got that John Brown energy. I mean, not most white dudes don't have that. It's just that's what it is, you know. Some, you know who they are that got it. You know, Eminem. Eminem got it. You know what I mean? Like, but Eminem getting old. And you know, Eminem is probably pushing damn near 50. He probably about 48, 49. So he don't have the youth ear as much as he did 20 years ago. I'ma still fuck with him to an extent, but he don't have the youth ear like he used to. So yeah, man, like when I hear dudes speaking truth to power, like my man was just saying, like I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying, white boy, what's good, you know? You know what I'm saying? And was really crazy, like I already touched on it a little bit, but I only heard of this dude like yesterday. Like what? And then you go through his videos, this motherfucker got like 2.5 million subs. This video got 1.7 million likes. I seen one video with like 15 million views. And you just go down his list. He releases like a video like every month or some shit. And like I like the visualizations of his videos, because they're like real simple. You could tell a lot of work and detail is put into them, but he probably doesn't use a huge budget. Genius. And he got one song. It's called like "Don't Look Down." He telling the truth. So yeah, man, when dudes speak like that, that's when it's like, yeah, that's the shit I need to hear. That's the shit the youth need to hear. We got too many rappers that's talking about destructive, genocidal music. I'm sorry, but look, I love King Von. I ain't hear about King Von until like the day after he got killed. And then I really, you know, same thing I always do every time I hear a new artist, I start going through their catalog. I love King Von's music, but that shit, man, that shit is violent as hell. Shit, the first time King Von, I was about to stab some niggas in the face myself. You know what I'm saying? You know? And because these dudes, look, say what you will, but drill rap, man, these dudes is real menaces. They just make good music. They just happen to make good music. They real menaces. It ain't like it was back in the day when it was like, you know, dudes like Cube or whatnot was just talking about what's going on in the streets. Or dudes who was in the streets before got out of the streets and got into rapping. These dudes are in the streets and rapping, like for real. It's genocide music. It's slave music. The women ain't talking about shit. We ain't had a Lauryn Hill. We about to have a white Lauryn Hill here in a minute, because the only thing that the black female rappers are talking about is thought and stripper culture, like the Megan Thee Stallions, the City Girls, and that's cool for what it is. I mean, I ain't gonna knock it because they making a living, but, you know, that's music I want to hear when I'm in the strip club, not necessarily when I'm, you know, on a Sunday afternoon when I'm, you know, vibing or something like that. Like, I don't want to hear about twerking all the time. Like, that's all female rappers talking about. And all the male rappers is talking about is killing other. They're not talking about killing, the bad guys. You know who they are. They talking about killing other black people. Like, that's it. Like, killing other black people, getting money, doing drugs, selling drugs. Like, robbing. I don't even know if they talk about robbing anymore. I don't even think they care about that shit. So, I mean, I had to give a shout out to my man Tom MacDonald because he went in on this. This guy, man, you do a little bit of research. Dude's kind of an interesting dude, man. He's a fighter. I think I seen an interview or maybe his YouTube channel where he's talking about he fought professionally for like 10 years. So that's automatically something where I'm gonna pay attention. Y'all know. Elevated love to fight. Elevated love to fight. Elevated engineer love to fight. You know what I mean? I love fighters. You know me. I'm a nerd, but I got hands. Check my record. So, moving on to the next one. I had to salute to Tom MacDonald because that was some hard shit, man. Listen to the whole song too. It's called Brainwashed. Yeah, man. Salute to him. So moving on to the next topic. Yeah. Can we see that? Let's make it a little bigger. I know I'm a little late. I know. But yeah, the Transformers Kingdom, man. First of all, I absolutely loved it. 1000%. Absolutely loved it. Only little hiccup I had, and that's probably because I'm such, a nerd or whatever, were some of the voices were a little off. Like, is that really Dinobot's voice? Homie sound like he's still on the block. But you got used to it. It's probably because I'm used to the old voices, and hearing the new ones, it's like, I miss Megatron from Beast Wars voice, because the Megatron, the guy that got to do Megatron, is great. You get used to him. I mean, obviously not gonna have the old voices from the 80s, but I got used to him. No, I say I get used to. I did get used to him. But man, I'm gonna throw in a little bit of spoilers, man. I gotta be honest because I gotta talk about some of it, and I'm late, so y'all should have watched it already anyway. So. But they really, they really got into the quantum mechanics. They really got into the time stream. All right, and what I really like about the Transformers, particularly the Cybertronians, is the fact that. Woo! Okay. Yeah. Is the fact that how the Cybertronians perceive time is different than humans. And what do I mean? And because they did some what's it called? When they go back and change the story or something like that. They basically they created multiple worlds, multiple timelines and paths, right? So a lot of shows are doing that now. I think a lot of it's like, yeah, it's cool, but a lot of it's just like, yeah, we wrote ourselves into a corner, so let's just say, hey, it's a multiple universe. But how the Transformers perceive time, and I might do another episode about this, in terms of like quantum physics, quantum mechanic. Basically, it's the quantum went out because I always talk about quantum computing, but it's a measure. It's a measure of the smallest amount of something, usually energy or protons, data, whatever. But it's the absolutely smallest amount of something, right? So in terms of this, how the Transformers Cybertronians perceive time is not how we perceive time. We perceive time in a straight line because our lives are so short. Yes? Okay, no human's gonna live past 150. Okay, and even if you did, you still wouldn't be able to compare it to a Cybertronian's life cycle, right? Cybertronians live potentially indefinitely, unless they get killed. But you know, they're alive for millions and millions and millions of years. You know, so they perceive time differently than us. So where we see time as a straight line, Cybertronians see it as a giant circle. It is crazy. It's so cool. I'm sorry, but it's so cool, right? So how they perceive time is there's a, in a way, like Optimus Prime and his team and Megatron, they're kind of in a superposition, and the rest of time is kind of moving on without them. So in this, they go back all the way to the age of the Beast Wars, which was in prehistoric Earth time, right? Which means they go back. The difference between back in the old series, the Beast Wars series, is that the Beast Wars, the Maximals, and the Predacons in the original Beast Wars story, the Autobots and Decepticons, once they found them, never woke up. And this one, and this is what created a multiple time path, the Autobots and Decepticons woke up right before the Maximals and the Predacons discovered them. So that whole timeline exists, but was changed because of the time that they woke up versus the time that they didn't wake up in original Beast Wars, right? So that whole 80s timeline still technically exists, but a new branch was created, right? So it's kind of a paradox. Do the Beast Wars still, or do the Maximals Predacons still exist? Because in order for the Predacons and Maximals to exist, you got to have the G1 storyline, which we grew up on in the 80s. You got to have the Earth Saga. You got to have, the Unicron War. You have to have all of that stuff happen, so that way the Maximals and Predacons exist millions of years after that, right? But because the Autobots woke up early in this version, that doesn't exist. Well, technically it does, but it's a branch universe. So that's where quantum mechanics comes in, man. Like, it's deep. It's really deep, and it's really kind of cool how they kind of did it. I love the ending. The ending, oh my god. The ending was like crazy. Like, the ending is kind of sad too. I'm not gonna give away the ending, but it's kind of sad, man. What the ending is, because it's just like, damn, it's bleak. It's still hopeful, but it's bleak. And I think this is how, the guy FJ DeSanto, I think is his name. He's like directs it. He also did the War of the Primes, the Combiner Wars. That it came on Macanima, whatever it's called, X. I think he's kind of setting this up so this connects that series with this series, and I'm just like, I ain't mad at him. You know what I mean? I ain't mad at him. That's pretty good though. So yeah, man, I love this. I did the He-Man review a few weeks ago, but I couldn't wait to do this one. But I just been focusing on other shit. But man, I love seeing Megatrons plural together. I love seeing the because they did a lot of stuff. Like, you had Cheetor and Bumblebee kind of having their thing, and then you had what's my man? There was a good fight between Tigertron, Cheetor, and what's my man? Soundwave's little panther thing. I forget what he's called. And they kind of squared off. Like, man, I was like, this shit is badass. You know, I've watched it twice already, which tells you how much of a fan I am. So yeah, man, I loved it. I definitely hope they do more. Please do more. Please do more. Please do more. I love, man. Starscream did his thing. There's a lot of good stuff, but you know, I just want to see what they're gonna do in terms of the timelines. Like, how's that gonna work? How is that gonna work? Because the way they flipped the script, it's gonna be crazy. It's definitely gonna be crazy. So, oh man, go watch it. Go watch it. Netflix, go watch it. It's on there. I'm probably gonna watch it a third time. All right, and so last but not least, finally, go be a Get On Code update dropping this week or this upcoming week. Yeah, man. First, I haven't even said it. Like, share, subscribe for the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment, discuss, hey, whatever, you know. But it's gonna be a Get On Code update. I know I haven't done one all summer long, which is kind of ridiculous, but I finally got to it. I'm just putting the final touches on it. Basically, it's a I talk about quantum computing all the time. I might as well show you how to access a quantum computer and code on it. So basically, it's a QuizKit QISKIT, which is IBM's quantum computing library that you can connect to their quantum computer remotely through your Anaconda environment using Python code. So yeah, it's a real short video. I tried to keep it under like 10 minutes, and it should be going up this week. So I'm excited. Been working on it for a while, trying to get to work. Finally got to work. So yeah, man, I'm gonna be dropping that this week. So for all you who was getting next Get On Code episode, dropping it this week. So that's that. And this is gonna be the first in a series of quantum computing coding videos, Get On Code videos, because I think it's really important that we start focusing not only on coding but on the future and potential of quantum computing. The reason why these companies and countries are investing billions into this technology. You know, who knows? Maybe this quantum computing ends up being all hype or nothing, or maybe it's the game changer that we've been waiting for 70, 80 years. Who knows? But it's important for black folk in particular to get on this shit. So keep an eye out for that. That's it for today's episode of Elevated. Thanks again, engineering fam. Appreciate the love and support. That's it.